Let's start with a little lobster and truffle ravioli on grilled asparagus with capsicum oil.
Oh,
Please enjoy.
Thank you. I have no doubt.
I hope you can see this because this looks like.
Look at that.
This looks amazing.
That is.
Oh my god. So how are we gonna do this? Talk and eat at the same time. Oh, we multitask. We can do all that.
Probably the person who talks don't eat. And then
Well, Debbie was talking, so that means we can eat right now. Let her continue to talk.
enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
So you know what? I just wanted to say you talked about the blame game and all of that.
I'll just say this really quickly. When we talk about the blame game too, people, well, there's two things I think. There's one is the blame game,
Bon appetit.
and two, bon appetit people, enjoy.
Oh my god. Bye.
There's two things. There's the blame game, but there's also the excuses as well. I've had friends who've travelled, or they're travelling all the time, or they've got to work on their business all the time, or there's the kids all the time. So there's two things I want to look at there. There's the blame game that you're talking about, and the excuses. In what way why do we do these unconsciously? Why do we, instead of looking, let's be happy and work at our relationship, instead of just being so negative or pushing things away all the time? Go for
I'd
it.
like to answer this one if I may.
Go for it.
Okay,
Things I can eat too.
so this is one of the things that I learned from one of my mentors. So my mentor is Blaise Singer. You know Blaise Singer, yeah?
We do.
And he talked about, he always does flip charts. So he said, he always shows us this flip chart because this is the best flip chart he's ever learned. So there's people in general, when something happens, when the shit hits the fan and something happens, the first thing they want to do is they're really scared of the outcome. So they deny. No, it didn't happen, no this, no that, whatever. So in reality, that's lying. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to other people. The next thing that they do is they lay blame. So it wasn't me, it was such and such didn't tell me and such did, and so
It's a reaction. It just happened.
It's lots of
instead of
finger
actually
pointing.
thinking about it.
Now that is being a victim.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true too.
And then the third one is all the justifying. So lots and lots of reasons why something happens. Now to remove all of that and to actually have the results that you really want, you have to take personal responsibility. Now, when it comes to responsibility, it's being responsible for what you say and what you don't say, and what you do and what you don't do. So
What you don't do is a lot
That's
more
right.
what you don't do and don't say than what people do say.
That's right. But you know what the thing is, and this comes from personal experience, in my marriage, I said lots of stuff, but I didn't back it up with the doing. So then I wasn't being taken seriously. So you
That
really
happens a lot
need
as
to
well.
be 100% responsible, right? But when it comes to a relationship, like there's 50-50. Why should you have 70% and me 30%?
Fantastic.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Won't be the
really
last time
amazing.
that I interrupt. I'll be always coming in the
No, that's
is
okay.
keep this up, you can
You know,
interrupt
I
all
can
night.
keep talking, don't worry. I can keep
Thank
talking.
you.
Thank you.
Interesting to hear from you. Thinking a lot, like, always need focus to keep my relationship life and balance. Very
Oh,
interesting
right.
to hear from me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
excellent.
is true too, because
Yeah.
you're always travelling overseas and you're travelling interstate and you do a lot of functions as well.
Yeah.
And the hours too would be very,
Yeah.
it's not normal 9 to 5. You'd have random hours which would put a lot of pressure on the relationship.
Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do.
Normal relationship life is not really possible with the IT industry.
No, certainly not.
So you gotta have questions for that one. And,
Spot on.
We're going to talk about those two and the different foundations that people
and
can
the
look
code,
at.
I do want to mention the code of honor.
I've got it listed. It's
Oh,
all done.
beautiful, beautiful.
Glad you like it.
Thank you, this
Thank
is
you.
amazing.
No, fantastic.
So when I was talking about the percentage, so you gotta divide the responsibility 50-50. And then you're 100% responsible to your 50%. And you gotta do everything in your power to own up to, if you stuffed up, just own up, because at least the other person knows where you're at.
Is that like too that comment of you complete me, and it's not about it's
Oh,
not about completing me. It's
Oh,
about
don't get me
completing.
started on
It's
that
about
comment.
being complete yourself. So then two
Yeah.
complete people join for the rest of the journey.
Well, as you've heard me say many times over, I love the movie Jerry Maguire, but the biggest downfall was you complete me. If you have to have someone else to complete you, you need to do some work on yourself.
Yeah,
Anyone,
definitely.
if your reliance is entirely on yourself, and you're able to have your independence and do whatever, anyone else that comes into your life is an added bonus and enhances you in your life. They shouldn't complete you. If you're needing someone to complete you, you need to work on you to complete that. Because that's what happens with a lot of relationships, especially long-term relationships, that when they end, you have two people sitting there going,
What now?
what now? And who am I? I mean, I've been this couple for so long, I don't.
People lose themselves.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. All that, you know, when some couples would come to me at the end of the relationship saying, "Can we save it or not?" I'd say that they'd sit there and go, you know, I wake up in the morning and look at the other person and I don't recognise them, and it's because they've been so focused on doing the day in day out and trying to make it last, but they haven't gone back to the basics and gone back to the fundamentals and the foundations that really make the relationship work, and they end up sort of just not recognising, and then they get to the end of the relationship and sit there and go, I don't even know if I like this one. I like this one because he used to like it or she used to like it, but I really don't like it. You know, I've had clients that took on sports, you know, a particular sport because their partner did really well at it, but then when they got to the end, they just went, I didn't even like doing it. I just did it because they become so much of a part of this thing that they lost their independence. I think you've got to have a bit of independence. As you've heard me say many a times we've had lunch and that together, I've got to have my time, you've got to have your time, and then we have our time together. Now, it's not like I've got my own apartment and you come over once a week or anything like that. It's you've got to have your friends and your activities. I've got to have my friends and activities, and we also do our group things together.
But you know what you also need to do? You need to have your time individually, but
Yes.
you also need to make your time together.
Yes, yeah, that's
To
your
know-
time, my time, and together, yes.
Because the one thing I think that misses a lot is the time together, that people actually can nurture each other. Not with friends around, not with family around or other people, just the two of them. Even, you know, making date night once every couple of weeks, just
Love
to
it.
be
Love
the
it.
two of them and go out somewhere and do something together.